Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to BiblioTech On Air, BiblioTech's official podcast. I'm Rosanna.
I'm Ruby.
And I'm Romeo.
And today we're going to be discussing our latest Libros and Libations pick, She Kills by Skip Hollandsworth, available on Cloud Library, ebook, and audiobook format. So with that, Romeo's got a few questions for us to get into.
All right, I got to preface by just by saying that I have some typos in here, so I'm going to do my best in my mind to just read them properly. I didn't double check this time, so
Fill in the blanks.
yeah. So interesting book, right? A bunch of several chapters about different crimes and stuff. So as opposed to like a traditional, just start to finish kind of book, there's different stories. So I thought this was a nice opportunity to take a break from what we normally read. But just to start off, so do you think Hollandsworth seemed more interested in the crimes themselves or the people who committed the crimes?
I'd say probably more so the people, because it feels like we got to learn more about the actual perpetrators of the crimes, their background, their life, what led them up to do what it is they did. Some we learned are more victims, others entitled, some just kind of did it for the love of the game.
And I feel like the theme for all of them felt the same. Didn't feel like he was favoring one over the other. So it was all kind of just a lot of details in each one. Yeah.
I kind of feel like he fanboyed out a little bit on that chapter about the lady who robbed banks, because you got to admit that was really interesting.
That was a slay though.
It was the opening one. Like, that's just, you don't get better than that. Yeah. She was such a diva.
Yeah, she was. I think that was the only one where I felt like he was maybe more interested in just the crime or the crimes, I should say, and how she robbed the banks and her outfit and stuff like that. But yeah, certainly I think he was unbiased in his take on looking at the crimes as a whole and then just the women who committed them. So it was pretty good.
I'll say if anything, I'm biased. Yeah, I'm biased. Peggy Jo.
She slayed it.
What an icon. She never hurt anyone. And
it was a victimless. She did victimless crimes. Robbing banks. Who does that hurt?
Let women have hobbies.
You don't think that she traumatized the tellers?
No, I mean, she didn't use weapons. She kind of was just like, just slid a note and was like, give me your money.
Exactly. Like, they could laugh about it down the line.
Exactly. I'd be like, here you go, girl.
Oh no, she gave me a paper cut.
Good point. Okay. All right, that's fair. Okay, so did you have any sympathies for the women who committed these crimes?
Definitely the one who stabbed her husband like 193 times or something. I mean, I still don't know if like what she said was true, but from the like research and the way it was described, I'm inclined to believe her that she suffered the abuse. She could only put up with so much after that. And the fact that she said specifically, I feel safer in jail, as opposed to the other one who was another very sympathetic character, the fugitive, where she was tried to escape jail because she was being essayed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
She was also kind of wrongfully accused, right? She was the one that didn't really do the crime.
Yeah.
She was just kind of in the wrong place, wrong time.
And the judge was still like, you didn't really do anything, but you're getting the full extent of the law.
Yeah. And she was very traumatized. I mean, she would leave her windows open to keep an eye out in case that they were coming back to get her, to put her back in jail.
So the woman that did the stabbing like a million times, like, do you feel like, I don't know the psychology of this, but do you feel that at a certain point, like, okay, the whole, like, I'm just making sure he's dead.
Maybe 93 times would have been enough. Yeah. Not 193.
Any thoughts about that? Like, I obviously she wanted to make sure he was dead, right? To not come back. She mentioned that multiple times. But just, I mean, almost 200 times, that's a lot.
I mean, I don't know. She had a lot of pent up stuff, aggression going on. I don't know if I would say I'd stop or be able to stop after a certain amount.
I mean, I would think like, you're having a moment of just mania and you just kind of keep going without realizing it. She should have stabbed him an even 200.
Definitely crime of passion. I could see that, right? I mean, you're so you're just over it, right? And it's just like all this that's just been bottling up, and it just all came out. So okay. So kind of a segue into the next question. So which woman or crime did you find most unsettling, and why?
Oof.
Probably the nurse one. That one was crazy, where she was like killing her patients just because she had a bad day. Or there was one patient where she asked like the brother out or something, and they denied her, so she went in and killed like his brother.
I think it was it might have been another one too, where I think the one that got her caught was like her son had asked out the daughter.
Oh, there you go.
And the daughter said no, so she was like,
exactly
injected whatever she was injecting.
Yeah, that was very crazy. Just the fact that she kept going. Like, how many did it like specifically count how many people she killed?
I don't remember
either on that.
But it just kept going and going. It was like she killed this person and then this person and then this person.
Like at first it was like, oh, okay, just
putting
one off.
People, yeah.
But then it's literally like that patient breathed wrong.
Exactly.
Okay, 3:00 it is.
And the fact that no one like even thought to think that anything was happening with her. They're like, yeah, every time she leaves a patient, they die. It's just coincidence.
And that was a point that was brought up at Libros where it was like, oh, well, don't you think the hospital would be on it because you want to avoid lawsuits or,
But I mean, this was like, what, in the 80s?
Yeah.
Or maybe even older.
I think it was the 80s. Yeah.
But I think that's why they didn't want to bring it up to the hospitals because they knew lawsuits would be coming right after that. So maybe they thought like just wrapping it up.
They're just dropping it like flies.
And then just firing her and then she went on to another hospital. But so this went beyond euthanasia or like a mercy killing. So like this was, like you mentioned, somebody breathed wrong and stuff. So you've heard of like those angels of death or whatever you want to call them, where like, somebody's suffering, they have cancer, they're burn victims, and then it's euthanasia or whatever. But in this case, she was just something else.
Yeah.
So.
That was pretty crazy. It brought up a point too where everyone was like, that kind of makes me scared of like being in that position. You're so vulnerable and like these doctors and nurses are just giving you like a whole bunch of stuff. Like you don't know how it's affecting you or if they're going to kill you. I don't know. I mean, it seems a little bit more strict now, obviously. Like you have to sign out on all the medication that are given to you. But still, yeah. Like, yeah.
You're going to have to walk into a hospital now with the book and be like, please read this chapter.
Yes.
Don't get any ideas. But
plot twist. It gives them ideas.
It gives them ideas.
Very true. Okay. So how much responsibility should be assigned to the individual versus the circumstances surrounding them? So I think of the case we talked about, the woman who stabbed the man or ex-husband, whatever, 200 times, right? Like that's a perfect example of just her dealing with crap for probably years and years and years, and it just all spilled out. So do you think it's more about the circumstances, or should the women, just 100% be blamed for the crimes they committed? What do you think?
I feel like, I don't know if I'm biased, but I feel like a lot of the women's crimes were not like snapped, were not spontaneous. I feel like they were kind of thought out of more, I don't know. That's just kind of me. Like you hear like snapped stories, or like even the TV show Snapped, or it's like one day this woman just went crazy, and like killed her husband or something like that. I feel like women have that bias a lot sometimes.
That misogyny.
They seem like they just became crazy one day, but I feel like even in like relationships too, where it's like she just came crazy one day, so I like left her.
Yeah, or
it's
like the crazy ex-girlfriend.
Exactly. It's like people don't notice that there's like stuff happening. Obviously there's steps to it,
the build up, the lead up.
Exactly. There's the build up.
They're quicker to put the blame on the woman than to, like you said, there's circumstantial effects.
No, I agree with that 100%. I think a lot of it, I think I've read before, don't quote me, but I know I've read before that nobody just snaps.
Yeah.
Like there's always something, it's something foundational, right? Whether it's, you had mental health issues your whole life, or like, you mistreated, abused, all that stuff. So it's never just a case of just, one morning I woke up and decided to stab somebody 200 times today.
You don't have that feeling? You don't have that like, I want to stab someone today.
Sometimes. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, definitely I think there's a progression there. It's never just like one day to the next and you're this crazy person.
Yeah.
So that kind of, we talked about, women. Obviously this book is all about women. So do you think, how does gender shape the way the crimes are perceived by the media, the legal system, and the public? Do you think there's a difference between the way people portray, women killers versus the way they portray men?
100%. It's so sensationalized when it's a woman killer, and they always try to like dig up anything they can. They'll try to bring up even the tiniest little crime, like, she stole gum as a 10-year-old, and they'll use like the trashiest photo. Meanwhile, with men, they're always like, he was handsome. He had such a promising future.
He was a swimmer. He was in sports.
Exactly. Meanwhile, with women, it's like she might have had like 2 master's degrees, done amazing research, but they'll be like, this unhinged, jilted ex-lover.
I feel like everyone likes to, people like perfect victims. And so I feel like they like treating women, as perfect, I don't know where I'm trying to go with that, but they want them to be perfect.
Right, because women are held up to a certain standard. It's like, oh, they should just be calm and docile. And, the fact that this woman did this means that there is something terribly wrong with her.
But even Skip Hollandsworth, as the author, I got to admit, with the Peggy Joe, the first chapter, he mentioned several times how beautiful she was. So that to me is like, even as the author, male, he was writing about how pretty she looked and stuff. And it's like, okay, maybe she was, right? But it's like, why does that always have to come up, whether it's male or female? So I do think that in this case, like you mentioned, even the women killers have to fit a certain mold. Yeah. Like they have to be pretty and stuff. If not, they don't even mention that. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that either, but definitely, I feel like there's definitely a bias there. But I think Skip Hollandsworth did a pretty good job, minus that first chapter of just kind of keeping some restraint about the crimes and the women themselves. So.
I think he knew who his audience was going to be, and he grabbed everyone's attention with that first. Everyone at Lee Rose was like, "Yeah, that first one, Peggy Joe, she slayed, she did awesome, whatever." So I think he got what he wanted out of it.
True. I agree. It was a good chapter to start with, just because of how crazy it was. But is it possible to understand someone's actions without excusing them? And where is that line for you?
I think so. It's definitely one of those cases where you have to try your best to understand both sides, look on both sides. With some stories, it is a lot harder. Like, again, kind of going back to like The Fugitive, or again 193, but then you come across stories where it's like The Socialite.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
where it's like,
she pretty much almost got away with it too.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed pretty blatant. Like, oh, there was some stuff going on there. Excuse me.
Was there a chapter? This is just a follow-up question I don't have, but was there a chapter in the book that just like, I can tell you which one I was like, I don't know if this one really fits the mold. It just wasn't very interesting to me. Was I don't know what it's called, but it was the women who were the
band,
the singing band, the group. That one was just like,
I very rarely remember that story as well.
Wasn't exciting.
So I'm trying to remember that story. Actually, that's the one where they were put in jail and they wanted to be kept in jail, right? Because of like the popularity the jail was getting or something like that, or no?
I think so. But they did mention that some of the women were released and they were replaced with like other singers. But yeah, there were a few that were like so famous that I think they wanted to kind of keep them there for as long as they could. They were bringing in money.
Yeah.
It was like a traveling circus basically, and show and everything. It was interesting, but at the same time, I didn't feel like the story, I guess, kind of fit the mold with the rest of the stories he put out there. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's trying to bring up the point of like jail, or like, jail's trying to profit off of their prisoners and purposely trying to keep maybe their prisoners in there as well for the money. I don't know. Maybe it could bring that up.
Do you think that would work today? This was, I think, in the 40s. It was like post World War II or 50s maybe.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
I mean,
because you would think that there's better regulations, but also we know that the jails are the jail system
still
here and
corrupt.
Is so bad.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't put it past them to be like, oh well, we have this famous kind of up and coming criminal woman.
I mean, I've seen Orange Is the New Black, so I see it happening still.
Yeah, that's a good point. I thought about it. I'm like, a traveling like band today. Like, I don't. Like, society today, do they want to go pay money to go see anybody, man or women, like who are in jail?
Like, I could see it being sensationalized.
Yeah. Okay, that's an interesting take. I was curious about that. So, okay. So what responsibilities do true crime writers have to victims, perpetrators, and readers? So in this case, Skip Hollandsworth.
Definitely to do their best to get the most accurate, details in regards to everyone in the story, as far as like what the reporters were reporting, the victim themselves, the perpetrator of the crime. Like, I think you just want to try and be as well-rounded as possible. And that's not always going to be possible because, some details might not always be true, or maybe something that you were able to confirm years ago. Now, all of a sudden, there's been a discrepancy. Like, you just got to...
I feel like it's such a gray line because I feel like especially nowadays we have so many like true crime podcasts, and it's like who's being more respectful over the other, Yeah. I even used to watch like true crime podcasts where it's like they're talking about it, but they're doing their makeup. And now that I think about it, I'm like, that's kind of weird,
Yeah.
Like, how is that? Like, the way they're speaking about it is respectful. She's not being opinionated or anything like that, but just the act of like doing something else while talking about these topics, you know, can be discussed about. So I feel like, I don't know, it's a very weird gray line, because anybody talking about it at all, you're going to want to throw your opinion in it as well. Like you said, for the first story, he might have been a little opinionated. I don't know. I feel like it's very, very gray.
Yeah, there's definitely a fine line there, in my opinion. I think you have to be sensitive enough to respect the victims and the families and friends of the victims, but you, in some way, you got to understand, as an author, as a writer, investigative journalist, I mean, he's there to make a buck too, right? I'm not saying that was his main goal, but he wants to make sure the readers are entertained, right? So maybe some crimes are a little bit more romanticized just for like that effect as for the reader and stuff. But I think in this case, he did a really solid job of, you know, highlighting like, this is what happened. These were the events surrounding it. And this is the end result. You know, he wasn't, you know, siding with anybody in particular. I don't think, so I thought it was pretty unbiased in my opinion.
I think that's a kind of an interesting thing to bring up, because I believe we've brought up the same issue as far as like other books go, like with Killers of the Flower Moon or oh God, I was just going to mention it and it left me, but
like one of the ones we didn't like, or
well, just like, you know, the responsibility the author has as far as like Henrietta Lacks. You know, just kind of trying to be respectful without making it seem like you're just here to earn money or you're just trying to, like, you know, it seems like you want to have that educational aspect and be respectful at the same time. And so with books like that, it's tough, but I think it's doable.
Yeah, no, I agree there. So why do stories like this fascinate us? And what does this say about society or about us as readers? I just want to also say that I'm a huge true crime person. I listen to, like you mentioned, true crime podcasts all the time. Crime Junkie is my favorite one. And I watch Dateline and 2020 and Forensic Files. I'm a little bit obsessed with that kind of stuff. So what do you think it says about me, society, readers, everybody that loves true crime?
I think it's just like reading about what humans are capable of. You know, like this one specifically is about women, not serial killers, but like women in crime. And it's just like the taboo of it. It's like, especially I think a lot of these are from Texas as well. So, you know, I feel like Texas is seen as like a conservative state. We're all supposed to be Southern belles, you know? So it's like the fact that this kind of women are doing crimes like this here in Texas. It's just like the taboo of it. Like you don't think of something like that happening. So it intrigues you and it makes you want to know more.
And also just like the grim nature of it all. Just the fascination of like knowing what could push a person to, you know, the psychological aspect of it. And of course there's the whole like, well, it's not happening to me. Yeah. So there's kind of like that weird also, it's not happening to me. So I'm happy that it didn't, but I can also sympathize because it happened to something. It's such a weird emotional.
Yeah.
Do you think in some ways true crime and the stories that people tell about true crime, do you think it can bring awareness in a way? Like, for example, if you're an avid listener and stuff, like I know Crime Junkie, they have like these Crime Junkie life rules, right? It's meant to keep you alive as a man or a woman, in particular men, as women, because statistically men are more often than not the killers. But do you think it can bring awareness in a way that as a listener, as a reader, you're just kind of like, man, like moving forward, I know not to do this, or I know I should do this to ensure that, like, for example, one of the life rules is be weird, be rude, stay alive. Yeah. Right. So sometimes you're, especially as women, right, you're expected to be, like you mentioned, a Southern belle and super nice and charming, but sometimes you're just trying to stay alive. Yeah. Right? I mean, you're not intentionally being weird or mean because you want to be an ugly person. It's just because, hey man, I don't know you. Yeah. Right? You're a stranger to me. So what do you think about that?
I agree with that. Cause there's a lot more women that listen to true crime, that watch Dateline, you know, that are more invested in that type of stuff. And it's because of that. It's like, cause you're watching it and you're like, I can't believe that girl followed that man to his van, you know? But it's like, that wasn't thought of back in that time. It's just like now that we're more aware, obviously, we're not going to be following these men into their van. Yeah,
no, I agree. I think it's more like, I don't want to say there's nothing positive out of this, but it's like those instances where that happen where like the future people know, like, okay, we don't do that, right? You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that it happened, but now we know better, I guess.
Yeah. It's like the signs to look out for too. Like if you see someone in distress or I don't know, anything like that. Just keep an eye out
lock
for
your
it.
doors, lock your windows, always be aware of your surroundings.
Because surprisingly, people didn't do that back then.
I was having a conversation at home, a little bit off track here, but I was talking about how it seems like it's so easy there's so many ways to die. It's just so hard to stay alive. And I'm saying that as a man. So as a woman, I don't know if y'all have any thoughts about how hard it is for you all. I mean, you guys are constantly probably being catcalled and constantly being, called certain things and expected to be a certain way. And I can only imagine how difficult it is to, in your shoes, to feel that way, especially around men who are just jerks, I
think about that a lot, especially, I don't know, I guess this profession as well. It's like, sometimes I don't want to be too nice because then people start coming too often. And then it like brings a light bulb up in my head. And I'm like, no, I know this is my job and I'm expected to be like a caring, nice person to everybody. But sometimes you have to like put up a wall sometimes as well.
Definitely.
Just to protect yourself. So yeah, like I feel that everywhere I go. I'm like, don't be too nice.
And that's the thing. They try to shame, women for like kind of being selfish or, off-putting like that. But it's something that you have to do in this day and age. You just, have to find that balance.
Yeah. It sucks because like I'm a caring person. I'm a very compassionate person. And like, I like helping people at any time. But even like out and about when I'm by myself, like I took some Krav Maga classes as well. And they're like, don't let anyone like near you. Like if you're in your car and someone comes up and is like, I need like asking for money or something like that, you still have to be like, no, stay where you are. Like, don't come any closer, you know? And I'm like, that sucks, but
like you get paranoid after a while and it sucks.
Just curious, do y'all carry like mace or any kind of weapon? Are you just carrying these hands?
No,
I don't think we're allowed to disclose that.
No, you don't have to, but I really, truly, and I'm always mindful of these things when it comes to women, like how easy it is for a man just to walk into a Walmart. I can go into any coffee shop and I don't have that fear versus
go for a run at midnight.
Correct. Versus women have to really think about those things like, should I do this? And it's unfair and it's really sad that it has to be that way for y'all, because there's men out there that are just, they're murderers, they're rapists, they're just jerks.
There's TikToks too of like, for women, if you want to go out for like a walk in the afternoon, it's like walk like this and it's a little crazy, or like start barking, it's like weird, fun tips like that. But it's crazy that that's what we have to like share with each other. Yeah.
Yeah. I really appreciate your insight on that, because I've often, that's a really good conversation to have just in general, right? How different it is for the female experience versus, or the woman's experience, I should say.
Could be its own episode, honestly.
Yeah.
Absolutely, in the future. So, okay, a couple more questions. So what conversations do you think Hollandsworth wants readers to keep having after the final page?
What women are capable of. Yeah.
Good point.
They're not all, you're right. Everyone at book club was coming in like to the men that was there and was like, yeah, you read this, so you know what can happen.
I didn't go, so I didn't get those looks.
Oh, you got mentioned, though.
You did get mentioned.
Like Romeo.
Bernice was like, I wish Romeo was here so he could know what we're capable of.
I have my sunglasses. Bernice, why? Because I make fun of her book pick. Damn it, Romeo. Yeah, no, I think he wants, these are good conversations to have like we're having now, right? Yeah. Just talking about what women are capable of, but not so much as a fear for men, but just, hey, men, you push a woman to the limit, you push somebody to the limit, and this could happen. Yeah. And it was a very interesting read. I really liked some of these chapters. Okay, so what are your overall thoughts of this book? Did you like it or dislike it?
Liked it. It was easy to follow along. I feel like the stories were paced well enough with good information on both sides, just to keep it interesting and really make you think. I liked his writing style too. I thought it was like, again, easy to follow along.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was a fun book club pick. I'm glad it got squeezed in there because we all got to talk about it, and the discussion was really fun. So I really liked it.
Definitely great for like a book club pick. Absolutely.
I agree. What was your follow-up question? What was your favorite chapter of, or favorite crime, I guess, whatever?
Peggy Jo.
Peggy Jo. So good.
She wore the men's disguise. She went to rob those banks.
She was so progressive.
Yes. And she just kept doing it. She kept slaying.
And again, did not hurt anyone.
Victimless crime. She didn't even have any weapons on her. She literally like poised the entire time.
As far as I know, I don't think they made a movie about her yet.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, very missed opportunity.
I was thinking maybe like a Lifetime movie back in the day, but I didn't find any. My favorite chapter was the last one I was telling y'all off.
The dentist.
The dentist at the end. I don't know. I know I found that chapter to be really like, wow, that was a good one.
That one was
I remember that being on the news a while back.
I mean,
I feel like it was.
that kind of stuff kind of happens still to this day. It was that situation where the girlfriend killed
Oh yeah.
What was it? The mistress killed the girlfriend?
Was that recent? Yeah. Because the ex in this case, in this chapter, the ex killed the new girlfriend.
There you go. I'm like, see, that stuff kind of happens on the weekly here.
I might be confusing that with the astronaut story though. That was another one that was like back in the day, but that's for another time. But yeah.
Okay, good deal. So so last question. So what are you currently reading?
I just got started on Boys Enter the House. That's our next pick. And then I'm also still reading a bunch of manga in between, as well as I'm still also working on, and I mentioned this at our last Libros, there's a book I'm reading called A Memory Called Empire. It's a sci-fi book. It's great so far. I really enjoy it.
Nice. I finally finished Babel. It took me like over a month to finish. It was really long, but really good. And I just started Wuthering Heights because the movie's coming out.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm reading Boys Enter the House. I'm doing the audio. I'm like on chapter 3, so it's pretty good so far. I'm still trying to get through All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. It's okay. I know Sylvia Book Club told me she couldn't get into it, and I'm kind of finding that to be true. But I wanted to do a shameless plug here really quick. If you have a chance on PBS, I just watched a really great documentary, won numerous awards. It's called The Librarians, but it's about the politics surrounding book bans. It's for free. It's an excellent film for anybody who works in libraries. Any librarians out there, I highly recommend it. So I just watched that also. So
Ooh, sounds like maybe we should watch that, record
and
it,
discuss it. Yeah,
review it on the podcast.
Definitely,
it's a good idea,
especially for PBS. We got to save those peeps.
Exactly.
Save those Muppets.
Public funding.
Maybe we can squeeze it into in-service and just have a movie time and just kind of eat some popcorn and watch it. I don't know. We'll see.
How long is it?
It's 90 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it seems doable.
Yeah, I would think so. That
seems like every library worker should probably be aware of that.
Yeah.
Were you here, Ruby, when we watched that film that one time at in-service?
Oh, no, I was not.
Okay, so it was probably before you. We actually did watch a film once. Were you here, Jerry? Yeah. Sorry, Jerry's our camera guy over here. Sorry, Jerry.
Shout out to Jerry.
Shout out, Jerry. Always doing the great stuff. But yeah, we watched that other movie called The Public, and it is about the Cincinnati Public Library. It's a really good film also. We watched it, so we can certainly see that's an option. Well, that's all the questions I had.
Cool. Well, with that said, just going to remind y'all that our next pick for book club is, once again, Boys Enter the House, The Victims of John Wayne Gacy and the Lives They Leave Behind by David Nelson. It is available on Cloud Library, ebook and audiobook formats. So if you're interested, make sure you sign up for a library card with us. If you don't have one, check that out, and make sure you join our next Libros and Libations, which is going to be
March 2nd.
All right, sounds good. So March 2nd at Burleson Yard Garden. And with that, we'll go ahead and end it. Thanks for joining our discussion. Once again, I'm Rosanna.
I'm Ruby.
And I'm Romeo.
And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Thank you.
Bye.